Welcome to Southwest Florida Real Estate Update, hosted by area realtor Jim York and York Real Estate Group of Downing Fry Realty. Our show will bring you the most up-to-date information about the local real estate market, featuring leading experts in the real estate field.
Good morning and welcome to the Southwest Florida Real Estate Update. I'm Michael York with the York Real Estate Group. I'm joined here today by my father, Jim York, and as well Bobby Clampett, former PGA Tour pro, CBS sports anchor, and also the founder of the Impact Zone Golf. Bobby, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Good to be with you, Mike.
Just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into this point throughout your career and where you're from.
Well, I grew up in a place called Pebble Beach, California, if you've ever heard of that.
I have.
Yeah, and obviously to be able to have the opportunity to learn to play golf in that area was something that was a great privilege and turned me on to the game at a very young age. In fact, I was 10 years old when I started playing, and within 6 months I was hooked, already competing. And then after high school, went to Brigham Young University on a full golf scholarship and joined the tour right after that. And 15 years on the tour and 25 years at CBS and 5 years on the Champions Tour, and this past year retired from competition to run what we're doing here at Impact Zone Golf and trying to help the game through helping people better understand how to improve their games through our impact-based teaching system.
Very nice.
Bobby, maybe just elaborate a little bit about how you came up with the Impact Zone Golf. I've been reading a lot about it, and it helps the average player without changing his swing, right?
Right. It came out a lot of my own personal story. And my story was, two-time Fred Haskins Award winner, which is our equivalent of the Heisman Trophy in golf, and being the only two-time Heisman winner in golf, or Haskins winner, and coming out on tour and having 2 good years on tour, qualifying, representing the United States on the World Cup team, winning the U.S.-Japan All-Star match, had a win at the Southern Open, finished 3rd in the U.S. Open, and did some good things starting out, but I wanted to get better. And for the first time, I broke away from my longtime teacher, Ben Doyle, because I wanted to improve. I felt like my game had kind of plateaued, and I wanted to take it to the next level. And I went and sought the advice of the 4 leading coaches of that time, and all 4 of them wanted to change my style of swing. They said things to me like, your style of swing's got limitations, it'll never hold up, and it's you're going to have to play around it, and you got to do this and that. And the reality was, I listened to them, and my game did nothing but get worse and continued to get worse. And it led to, I managed to stay on the tour for 15 years, but I never played anywhere near like I did my first 2 years. And as I went and became a broadcaster with CBS invented something called the BizHub Swing Vision camera, which is now part of every golf broadcast, this high-speed slow motion. And I got fascinated with it and would hang out with some of my buddies, some of them actually live here too, in Naples, and would start to study the best players in the game and what they did with the help of the BizHub Swing Vision, which was like looking at the golf swing under a microscope. This is a camera that could produce up to 70,000 frames a second in high definition.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And so I started to look at the likes of, the Bubba Watsons and the Jim Furyk's and it's just a multitude, Lee Trevino's, guys that have kind of goofy swings, right, but are great players.
Yep.
But yet when you go take a lesson, the first thing the teacher's going to do is say, oh, no, you're swinging all wrong. You got to swing this way. And kind of a connect the dots approach is the way golf has been traditionally taught. You got to set up a certain way. You got to be in all these certain positions. And yet the best players in the game don't do that. So what do they do? And it led me down a study of impact. And I saw, and it was really an aha moment, how I saw that their impacts are all the same, though their styles and ways of getting there are all different. And it led to the writing of a book almost 8 years ago called The Impact Zone that started this movement of discussion about impact, because until then, nobody had really talked about impact. It was almost as if it wasn't important. It was all about, you got to do it this way, you got to swing this way and be in this position. And it kind of launched a whole movement of what we call impact-based instruction. So kind of quietly, while I was broadcasting, while I was playing the Champions Tour, it started growing organically. And to the point where I was even told that in private interviews of the top 100 instructors, over a third of them claimed that my book was the most influential book in their teaching.
Wow.
Even though I didn't even know who these people were.
Wow.
And it was kind of quietly invading the golf instruction world. And then you started hearing talk more and more in the instruction circles about impact, where it had never been mentioned before. And it just started to grow to such a point, and then we launched a DVD training system that has been very successful, and started to do some remote golf schools around the country that were also successful. And it just continues to mushroom to the point where we decided to really take it to another level, tipping point, so to speak, and do this investment here in Naples with our world headquarters here in this studio, and also with our Greengrass Academy at the Ritz-Carlton Golf Resort at Tiburon.
Absolutely. Well, when we return, Bobby's going to tell us why he chose Naples for his first headquarters.
Thinking of buying a home located in a golf course community in the Naples, Marco, Bonita, or Estero, Florida? Here is what Mark Lai, former PGA winner, says about Realtor Michael York of the York Real Estate Group of Downing Fry Realty.
Hi, I'm Mark Lai. If you have any real estate needs in Naples, Florida, the one company to contact is the York Real Estate Group. Also, if you want a golf course property to invest in, Michael York of the York Real Estate Group is the guy to contact. Michael knows every golf course in Naples. I will tell you this, he's been in the golf business for a long time. He's played all the great golf courses down here, and he is an outstanding realtor. I've known him for quite some time, and he's he's got a lot of integrity, and he very much knows his stuff on all the different clubs here in Naples. So the York Real Estate Group is a great place to start. So if you have any time or anybody that wants to visit down here in Naples and look at the options out there, please contact the York Real Estate Group.
Welcome back. Bobby, tell us a little bit about how you chose Naples as the headquarters for Impact Zone Golf.
Well, I first got to come to Naples when I was with CBS, and we were broadcasting the Shark Shootout at Tiburon. And kind of ironic that it would all circle back to where we are today, but that was my first introduction to Naples, and really, really liked the area initially. And when I joined the Champions Tour, my family, all 5 of our kids were born in Raleigh, North Carolina, and were raised in the Raleigh area. And when I joined the Champions Tour, it was at the very tail end of my youngest high school career, and she was about to graduate. And I had a real hard time preparing for the Champions Tour that year. It was a brutally cold winter. And I was a little bit fed up of trying to practice and work on my game in 38-degree weather with the wind blowing 20 miles an hour. Just wasn't really what I was.
That's not fun?
No, it wasn't that much fun. So the following year, I had some friends here. Of course, Mark Lai, who you know, and Peter Jacobs, and a couple of tour buddies of mine lived down here. And I contacted them, and then I had a couple other friends that lived here as well. And before I knew it, I decided to kind of come down the following year and look for a place maybe to rent for a few weeks and work on my game, which is what I did. And started practicing at some of the local clubs and getting to know the area a little bit. And then, of course, went back out on the Champions Tour and competed there, as I did for the last 5 years. And the following year, came back again and wanted to again rent, and contacted my realtor, and he said, I told him, I said, if something comes up, here's what I'm looking for. And he found something for me. We ended up buying a home here in Bonita Beach, on the beach over there, and just loved it, and still love it. And really just grown very fond of the area, and so much so that we decided that we also live in California part-time, where I'm from, in Carmel. But we decided that with the growth of impact zone golf and what we're doing, this would make the most sense to plant our feet and make our world headquarters here. And so this year being the first year, this past year, the first year that I have not been on the tour, we sought the opportunity to invest and build our world headquarters. And we found our building here at 1040 Collier Center Way and built this fall, and just recently opened, and now starting January 1, opened at the Ritz-Carlton Golf Resort.
Very nice. It's a great spot to open a golf academy in the country.
It's fantastic. Couldn't be happier about it. It really is a dream come true. The vision was planted a few years ago. I didn't think it was going to come to fruition this quickly, but it has, and we've developed an amazing team. We have 12 instructors on our staff already, 17 employees and contractors in the business, and many other partners. And it's just, it's really been a lot of fun to watch it grow, to start from just a concept and grow to this, because the great thing about it is it just works. And you know, we're in an environment where traditional golf instruction hasn't helped most people, unfortunately. And I've been told that 70% of the people who take lessons say it doesn't help them.
Yep.
And with 4 million golfers in the United States quitting every year, and they talk about it costs too much, they talk about it takes too much time, but what they don't talk about too much, they say it's too hard, but if you get underneath that and look, there's a big frustration level of most golfers and why they don't get better. And a lot of my students come to me and say, you know, I've been playing golf for so long and I'm still an 18 handicap, and I just, you know, I plateaued and I never get any better. And they don't understand cause and effect. They don't understand when they hit a bad shot, why they hit a bad shot, and what to do about it and how to fix it. And therefore their games never do get any better.
Absolutely.
And it's a sad tale that causes so many people to quit the game all the time. And that's what we're trying to do here. We know that when people are educated on what proper impact is and how to get it, it's the stepping stone to really understanding the game and understanding how to improve. And that's what we do, and that's what all my instructors that I've trained here have, that impact-based teaching credential that I have created an actual training, and then they teach alongside me in these golf schools and have for the last 6-7 years. I've been running these golf schools while I've been competing on the Champions Tour all over the country.
Oh, really?
And that's why we have 50 instructors all over the world, but we have 12 right here in Naples.
Well, tell us a little bit about your schools that you offer. You offer a half-day, full-day, and a 2-day school, right?
So at the Ritz, we offer 2 different price point schools. We offer our master schools, where my top instructors that are master instructors of the impact zone, they lead a golf school, and it can be a half day, which is roughly 3.5 hours. It can be a full day, which is 7 hours, or it can be 2 full days, or it can even actually be 2 half days. And we do a combination of all those and have a regular ongoing program. It's called an open enrollment, so it's open to anybody.
Okay.
Anybody can sign up at any time and add their name to it. And then we also offer the signature schools, which are the ones that I lead. And I really enjoy the signature schools for me, because I get to spend the entire time with the students from sunup to sundown, and really get engaged with them and how to create a plan that's going to improve their games. And it's going to improve their games for a lifetime. And that's what in doing these remote schools, that was one of the big issues that we had, is that we didn't really have a follow-up plan for them. Now, we're based here, and we have every bit of technology and basis to help them for a lifetime, but we also now have Impact Zone Central that we've developed, which allows every student to have their own online portal. And every lesson, every bit of data, whether it be the launch monitor data, the putting data, the fitness data, whatever it is, their actual lesson summary gets put onto their own training space on the web, so that they can go back and review, they can track their performance, their improvement, and really get verifiable evidence that their games are improving. And we're the only ones in the world that have ever created that. And additionally, they can even be, and a lot of the people who live here in Naples, as you know, are snowbirds.
Yep.
And they go up for the winter time, or for the summertime up north, and we have a program now where they can actually sign up for online lessons, and we can do virtual real-time lessons.
Wow.
Where all they do is take their iPhone or whatever it is and set it up on the driving range and schedule a lesson with their instructor here, and can actually have an actual lesson and continue the progress that they're making.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Well, Bobby, we're going to take a little short break, and we're going to go into the hitting area, which I think is going to be real exciting for our viewers. Okay?
Fantastic.
We'll be right back.
Thinking of buying or selling a home in Naples, Marco, Bonita, or Estero, Florida? Think of the most experienced York Real Estate Group associated with the #1 brokerage in Naples, Downing Fry Realty, which produced $1.9 billion in sales in 2014, controlling 43% of all transactions in Naples. Jim, Michael, and Morgan York make up the York Real Estate Group of Downing Fry Realty. With over $250 million in sales transactions, they can offer you the expertise and trust you want and need in a realtor. Call them today at 239-273-6727 or visit their website, www.naplesyorkrealestate.com.
Welcome back. We're now in the hitting studio here at the headquarters for Impact Zone. Bobby, let's just walk through a new client coming in, what technology you guys are using, what process they'd go through, and what this unique mat is that you guys have.
Well, first of all, really you have to talk about, it can get a little intimidating seeing all this technology. And really this is more for the instructors to really be able to isolate and identify what is impeding that student's ability to make what we call dynamic impact. Impact is the common denominator of all the great players of the game.
Absolutely.
They do it in a variety of different styles, but they create this dynamic impact where the average golfer doesn't. And what we do is identify what is the difference between pro-like impact and what the average golfer is doing, and then start to break it down and look in the swing what is that
What's
individual
impeding
not doing to produce proper impact. So we use a lot of the technology. First of all, we've got launch monitor data. This is the TrackMan 4. We're actually the only facility in the world currently that has 2 TrackMan 4s. This is the brand new TrackMan that just got released.
Yep.
And we feel pretty privileged that TrackMan would think enough of us to give us with the limited supply of them, give us 2 of them where nobody else did. So we use that technology. If you look on the screen, and this is Josh Jeffers, one of our instructors here, and Josh kind of hit a little miss-hit weak cut over here to the left. He's left-handed. But it gives us everything from our attack angle, the low point, which is dynamic number 2 of our 5-dynamic system. We actually had been pleading with TrackMan for a couple of years to put that in, and they finally did for us, and that really helps. This is club path, dynamic number 5. What is the path of the club coming into the ball? Face angle, that's one of the aspects of impact that we look at. What is the face angle to target, face angle to path? And it gives us the launch conditions, the club head speed, the smash factor, which is basically ball speed in relation to club head speed, and the spin rate. What did the ball do? It ended up, it was slicing in his case. It carried 157 yards. It was a little lower, so only had a 49.2 feet height for a 7-iron, which isn't very high for Josh. So it rolled out a little bit more. Plus these are US Open greens, so they're kind of firm. And it continues to give you that kind of information. It gives you a pictorial display. And then if we look up here on the pressure mapping system, we can actually see where Josh, during his swing, as he's preparing to hit this shot, we can actually watch what is, I didn't yeah, we did capture that swing, good. So we're going to go back and actually watch Josh make this swing right here. And you can see that the weight transfer. Josh, come over here a second. Pull up that swing. You got a lot of stuff on here. Is it that swing?
Could be that one.
I think it was that one. Okay. And what you do is you get all these triangles here to match up here.
So what he's doing is he's syncing up the video to match
Where you're at.
the trace. So, the
So
video
we can actually see that Josh is doing a good job getting his weight transferred to his right foot at impact. So he's got 71% of his weight on his right foot, his lead foot at impact, which we like to see more, a lot of weight on that lead foot. It shows that he's using what we call the workhorse in developing and delivering what we call a lagging club head into impact. But if you go back, you can actually see where he starts here, right at 50-50. How'd you do that? You must be practicing to do that. Nobody gets it that good. And as he starts the club back, you can see the weight transfer to his left foot. So at the top of his backswing, he's got about 71% on his left side. I have a little bit more in my style of swing. But again, that's more of a style of swing, but it affects impact. And that's everything we do is taking this technology and looking at the effectiveness of the workhorse, using Swing Catalyst as the body pressure mapping system to give us an indication of the effectiveness of our workhorse and how that relates to delivering the club into impact and the 5 dynamics.
Absolutely. That's
So then you can see him at the finish here. He's got 90% of his weight on his right foot, his lead foot, all the way at the finish.
Well, that's very interesting information there, and I can see how that would be useful to the average golfer in squaring up the club face and helping them lower scores. Bobby, I want to thank you again for being
Thanks,
on
Mike.
the show.
Yeah, great to be with
Josh,
you.
thank you very much.